Hi, everybody. Oh, I'm upside down. Oh, let me fix that for one quick second. Uh, that would be. Huh. Uh, uh, that didn't. That didn't. That's not. Um. Let's try that again. So this, yes. What I need to flip upside down is this one. Let's transform and rotate that. Ah, yes. Hi, everybody. I'm Ski with Pete, your host for this evening's keyboard build. I hope you all are safe and coronavirus free. Last time on the show, we were able to raise $80 during the show, which we donated directly after the show. For those of you who follow me on Twitter, you saw exactly what I did with it. We donated it to what was it called, Steph? No Hungry Kids. It was for New York City school kids who depend on school lunches. What's that? It's a countrywide one. It's not New York. See, I would know these things more precisely if A, it hadn't been 3 weeks since I last streamed, and B, if it hadn't been that my lovely wife Stephanie, who you can't see, but she's just over there, she's the one who actually signed us up and did it. And if, like I say, if you follow me on Reddit, you could see that I did it in real time. I noticed once again that I'm a little bit off screen here. Huh. Let's see if I can twist that. No, that's making it worse rather than better. Okay, I'm gonna have to do this properly. Obviously, I haven't had a haircut in COVID-19, so I'm thinking actually I should put my baseball cap on. Alexa, turn off the kitchen. Anti-Gravity Pete, what's going on? Rob R, welcome to everybody who's checking out the show. Akraz is here, DVZN Media. There's 16 people, 15, 16 it says, with only 3 likes. If this is your first time to the show, or even if it isn't, please press like now. The more people who press like, the more people come to the show. It's like a cool thing that happens with the algorithm. But, can I ask you guys a quick question? Actually, pretty directly, what do you guys think about the opening, the 10-minute countdown thing at the start? Is that good? Is that bad? Do you like it? Do you not like it? Do you wish that I would remove it? The reason that I ask is that it looks like we have like 55 playbacks. So a bunch of people came to the show and then saw that the timer was on and then either left or I don't know. Just tell me, like, do you like it? Do you not like it? Okay, I want this to twist a little bit even more. No, that's worse. Okay, 1 second. There. Oh. It's getting better. More centered. Oh. Are we more centered? Robert says, same to you. How have things been for you guys up in New York City? We do live in New York City, but as I like to say, we aren't really in New York City right now. We're just inside of the 4 walls, inside of our home. So, I don't know. New York City seems to be happening out there without us. And when I say it's happening out there, it's not really happening at all. I'm going to work every day, doing the telecommute thing, using a lot of Zoom, having a lot of meetings. But It's all been inside of the house. Rob R, saw your comment. 5 minutes. Yeah, that should do it. I actually have a 5-minute version though. I never use it. I always press the 10-minute one. Actually, partly because it gives me 10 minutes to get ready. And I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm extremely disorganized. But I'm here now. So I have an excuse for why I was not here more recently. I told you guys that I was going to stream more often, especially over the COVID-19. And then I cut myself with my knife. Here's a fun little fact about my knife. If you do this, it opens quickly, cleanly, and perfectly. However, if you try to open the knife like this, you see that it doesn't fully open. And when it didn't fully open, I then jammed my thumb into the Sharpie end of it and caused myself a thumb injury. And because of the thumb injury, I was unable to keyboard for a couple of weeks. So I do apologize. Akraz asks, are you planning to come to the Great White North once the pandemic is over? Yeah, of course. My parents and brothers still live up north. What's that, Stephanie? Oh, my in-laws now live there too. I keep forgetting. They had been living in Dallas, Texas, but of course now they live up in Canada. Yeah. So yeah, probably. Are you guys, I assume you guys, wherever you are. In fact, can you give me a little shout out and tell me exactly where you're chiming in from today? I'd love to know. I know DVZN, you're down in Texas. Akraz, I'm guessing you're up in Canada. We got 18 viewers, just 6 likes. If you haven't already, please smash that like button. Unlike last time where I was trying to make a show about how to do stabilizers correctly, this show is not... It's not what? It's not something I'm going to edit afterwards. This is just like live as it is. This is what it is. Today we will be putting together the beautiful Gone Nerd 108, although we're doing this as a 104 board. This is the 1UP Keyboards edition. We'll get to that in a minute. The other thing I want to do is I want to wipe this away because I don't want the $80 from last week. It's already spent, so I don't want to confuse it. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to... Rob R. in Pittsburgh, PA. You know, I've been to PA a number of times, Philly, but I've never actually been to Pittsburgh. It is somewhere I'd love to go. Speaking of PA, one of the keyboard community members, an artisan who I'm a big fan of, I might be losing my mind. Maybe it's because I haven't had any sun. Why can't I think of anyone's name? He's in Harrisburg, PA. Binge, thank you. Yeah, at Hungerworks Studios, the great artisan. Just north of Toronto, King City. Akraz, do you go by a different name in other places? Because I was talking recently to somebody who was just north of Toronto. And they were in a place just outside of Barrie. Well, this has not gone swimmingly. This is like a stain now on my desk. And this is also a very wet paper towel. I wonder how you get that the rest of the way up. Huh. Whatever. I'm going to need more paper towel. Arcas, that's your only alias. Oh, okay. No, another dude then. I was talking to a different guy who was up in Barrie. So I guess there's quite the thriving keyboard community up there in Ontario. Oh, just giving it the old wipe up. I'm about to sneeze. Hold on 1 second. Into my elbow, as is the new technique required by law or whatever. All right, let's get inside this keyboard and figure out exactly what the heck is going on inside of it. So, of course, we have the PCB and the stabilizers, which we did last time. This is a new time, so we're doing something different. This time, we're going to look at the other stuff that comes inside of the box. So, obviously, here, important, but not so much for this show, are the 2 stickers. We'll be using those much later. There's also the feet and the screws. The screws, of course, are going to hold the middle piece. The middle piece is this. I don't know if you guys know this, but it's kind of weird on the OneUp Keyboards website, but we've started doing these beautiful aluminum middles, and they are beautiful. So now you don't need to just have the skeleton designs. You can have a solid core. These black anodized ones are, yeah, let's just call them delicious, shall we? All right, there's that. There's the side printed keycaps. Whoop. There's the 120 65 gram V2 Zelios. And then, of course, there's this. This is the top plate. This is the bottom plate. But it's this top plate and those switches that we will be needing for this build for right now. So I'm going to put all this other stuff back in here. This can go back in too. Stickers and all that. Cool. Again, this whole thing is just interactive, and it's just a chance for us to hang out during quarantine. So if you guys want to ask any specific questions or want to chat about anything in particular, you just let me know. Otherwise, I'm just going to go ahead and basically build this. Akai says, do you sell those middles for TKL? Of course we do. Of course we do. Yes. Okay, and I'm just going to give that. I mean, I got the action cam, so it's time to use it. It's a little off skew, isn't it? This should be a little more straight, and this should be a little. Okay, let me try that again. Okay, let me try it again. She's a purdy. She's a real purdy. That's why I spent a lot of money installing this damn roller cam thing. You know, you might as well use it. Dang. Self cam. Transform. There we are. We're back. For those of you, it's your first time to the show, welcome. If it's not your first time to the show, also welcome. What I'm going to do is basically put on the corners here. All I want to do is create a stable base for this to exist inside. And so to do that, I'm just going to pop a couple of key switches on. And just make sure that they're locked in place. So that was one. Let's do this top corner up here. You just want to throw a couple of these in. I mean, you don't have to go. You don't have to go super crazy. You just want a couple to provide that kind of stable base. And I could figure out which of these on the bottom row I'm supposed to put in, but it's easier if you don't have to think and you just can whack them in. So I'm just gonna I'm just going to whack them in. I'm going to choose the Z key instead. Oh. The important part, really, when you're building these things, is that you have the switches properly seated in that top plate. And there'll be another couple opportunities for us to press them down and just extra make sure that they're super stuck in there. But in the meantime, you don't want it to be, you don't just want it to be placed on there like this one is. Here, let me switch back over to Action Cam and just show you. Because I've seen a couple people send me that their builds aren't great or the quality wasn't quite what they were hoping, and then they show me a picture that looks like this, where the switch is not properly seated in that plate. So what you got to do is you got to pull the plate up to meet the switch, so that the switch, which has little lips on it, can properly grab. And that's what I'm going to do, is just keep choosing a couple more spots here, these key spots for the first bit. If this is your first time to the show, you will never before have seen solder cam, but I'm going to solder these switches in place. This is not a press fit board, so when I solder them, you'll see I got a solder cam. Okay, I'm just picking another couple keys here, another couple switches. Now, let's do this one up here too, shall we? All right. Getting them in, getting them nice and tidy here. Do I want to do one more? Yeah, maybe just one more in the middle here. Like this. For those of you guys who have been around for a little while but didn't necessarily know, I'm the owner of One Up Keyboards, but I'm not the only one at One Up Keyboards. We do have our first full-time employee. His name is JB, and he really runs the day-to-day operations of One Up Keyboards. So it's probably him that you're hearing a lot more from than me. I'm still involved. I still definitely love the keyboards and do lots of stuff, but I do have a day job outside of this, so I don't spend as much time as I used to. Pete, this is from Noah. Noah says, Pete, I want a hot swappable TKL RGB board. Any suggestions? You're going to have to wait, my friend. You're going to have to wait. So far as I know, there are no TKL hot swappable RGB backlit keyboards. Not yet, anyways. And given the funk that we're going through at the moment with this global pandemic, I have a feeling it could be a little while before you see that out in the wild. Okay, what I'm doing here now is just I flip the board over and I'm just making sure that the switches are properly pushed in. And what I do is I rub my finger over the two pins because my fingers aren't going to lie to me. They're going to tell me if those pins are both through and if they're both through properly into the right depth. And speaking of depth, I'm going to just push that a little bit farther just to make sure it's all the way in. Yeah, and there's the last one. Oh, I had thought that there were none that were at the point of being recommended yet, but if the drop CTRL is now hot swap, uh, which I didn't realize, um, that would probably be a good one. All right, kids, here we go. Alexa, turn on the soldering iron. A little known fact about my soldering iron setup: it's run by Alexa, and it's poor at running it. So, if ever I do this, get the chance to do it again, I will. So here we are at SolderCam. Give me just 1 minute as I set up the camera and the focus. That's about right. All right, kids, if you haven't been here before, I'm about to do the soldering with the solder cam. It's a little bit wobbly, so keep your eyes in the top left corner if you're watching this full screen or on a big screen. It'll help for sure. All right, then. You know what? I forgot to open the window. Give me 1 sec. Gotta open the window, and I gotta plug this puppy in. There we go. I'm using the Hakko. This is the FX888D. It's probably the best soldering iron in the world. You might be able to spend a couple $1,000s and get one that costs more, but I can't imagine one that's any more reliable or any more perfect than this one. Great temperature stability, really great wand, great handle. just see if I put any. Oh yeah, I have the H key as well in the middle. You see when it pops like that? That means that the rosin core is doing its job in removing the oxidation. And it's fine that it pops when you're on it, but you don't want it to pop after you leave it. Okay, just checking if there's other ones that I'm going to miss here. This one I missed, yeah. 4 left. Just gonna wipe that bit of black off of there. Okay. I can just turn this off. I don't really need to close it up just now. Cool. 23 viewers with 7 likes. If you guys haven't already, if you could please press like. And if you're new to the channel, please press subscribe too. That'd be nice. All right. So we're building the 1UP keyboards 104. This is the 104 design you can see because it's got this part blanked out here. Got a little smudge on that. I might clean that up before I go any further. In fact, I might do it with this little piece of wet paper towel I had a minute ago. Cool. All right. Okay, cool. Well, now that I've done that, let's start slotting some more of the keys in. And one of the advantages to choosing a PCB-based switch, and a PCB-based switch basically means that it's got these little extra legs on them. Oh, it's not in focus. Let's see if we can get it to focus. Come on, focus. Are you focused? No, it's not focused. Almost. There we go. You can see it's got these little side posts. So it's got the those 2 pins at the back. It's got the middle thing, but it's also got those 2 sides here and there. Those help stabilize the switch in its little socket. Provide some extra rigidity for the board. You can hear that little click. That little click tells you that it's in properly. You know what, guys? I have to tell you, I know we're down here in Staten Island and not in Manhattan, but with the window open, I can't hear anything out there. It's just so strange. Can't hear the highway. I don't hear any planes. Man, it's just super, super strange. Oh, there's one car going by. I tell you what, it is weird to be in such a vibrant, noisy, lively town, and for it to be completely quiet like this is. I mean, with the window open, have you ever experienced anything as quiet as this? I don't know. It's a strange time for sure. I hope you guys are all safe, that everything's okay. Um, Do you know what I could do now that this is underway? I could actually take my middle piece here and suspend this. So I'm not pushing against the table. I'm just pushing against the PCB underneath. What jobs do you guys have, and how are you dealing with the coronavirus? What's going on in your neck of the woods? I'd love to hear. Do tell me. I know some of you guys told me where you are, but if you haven't already said where you are, tell us where you are and how things are going. Of course. Food or food. I'm going to call you food until you tell me to pronounce it differently. You're in Brooklyn and you feel there's too many people moving around. Well, I can hear now there's one, it's like a motorcycle or a loud engine car that's just gone by. And there's the subway going past. It's not actually the subway in Staten Island, it's the SIR, the Staten Island Railway. Still, I just heard it go by. I know the ferry's still going. It never stops. What part of Brooklyn are you in? Shad. Linux sysadmin. Central Missouri? Wait, MO? I'm originally Canadian, that's why I don't know, but give me one sec. Yeah, Missouri. I'm sorry, dude. I'm pretty good. I know where Missouri is, and I know about St. Louis, and I know about Budweiser. You know what I mean? But when it comes to state abbreviations, woof. There's a bunch of states that have M's and O's in them. Montana. I can't think of any other MOs. Oh, you're in Bay Ridge. Oh, Bay Ridge, you're basically in Staten Island. You just cross the water. You could probably hear the same jackass that I could hear. For those of you who don't know, Bay Ridge is just the other side of the Verrazano Bridge, which is not far from where I am, actually. I'm just in Staten Island, the other side of the Verrazano Bridge. New Mexico, there you go. Well done. Well done, food. There are 3 states with M's and O's in them. Although I'm going to guess that the state abbreviation for New Mexico is probably NM, and for Montana is probably 0. I don't know. That's a joke about there being nothing in Montana, but I don't know. I've never been to Montana. I hear it's a beautiful state. I hear that the skiing there is excellent. I still try to make a joke. Probably be flamed by some people who are in Montana now. You know, I know that they're Minnesota. There, wow. Minnesota, there's 4. So when I was back in the day, when I was a ski instructor in Aspen, I used to ask the kids if they could name all 50 states, and the only ones who could, I did it alphabetically. If you just think that like, oh, I know all the 50 states, I could just name them, and then you just like start randomly with New Mexico, Missouri, Montana, Minnesota, you'll never get there. I promise you won't. You'll just forget, some random state. Not even a random state. You could forget the big ones. Like Vermont, but you'll forget one. MT is one of the 2 states you've not been to yet. Wow, only 2. That's pretty good. I actually haven't been to all of the provinces in Canada. I'm missing all the northern ones, obviously. I say obviously. And I've never been to Saskatchewan. I'm pretty sure I crossed the border into British Columbia once, but only once, and it wasn't for very long. It's just for a ski day, and I haven't been to Vancouver or Victoria. But when I was a kid living in Ontario, my parents used to drive us out to Nova Scotia every year. So I've done all the maritime provinces. And I've done most of like northeastern U.S. as well because of that. So I've been to Maine and New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Massachusetts, And of course, since I've moved to New York, I've done Connecticut, Rhode Island. And I was just talking about PA, New Jersey. I do a bit of work in Chicago as well, so I've been over to Michigan. Chicago, Illinois. So I've been over to Illinois, but I've never been to Michigan, even though I've seen Lake Michigan. Dr. Bombay is up in the house. What's going on, Dr. Bombay? Watching Men Makes Things. Awesome. Just keep it away from your keyboard. It's a strong recommendation. You've only been to Niagara Falls, Toronto, and Montreal in Canada. Well, I gotta say, there is something pretty alluring about the bits in between. And out west. And probably up north too, but like I said, I haven't been. One of my friends from when I was growing up is actually a wildlife photographer from the Northern Territory. His name is Fred Lemire, and he's worth looking up if you get a chance on Instagram. His wildlife photography is, it's essentially awesome National Geographic, only awesome. Fred's a good guy too. Really good guy. $21 viewers currently in the house. Thank you guys for coming and stopping by. I know I ask pretty often, but if you haven't already, please do smash that like button. Obviously, subscribing has more of a commitment to it. The like button, not so much. Yeah, your dog's been loving it. That's what I hear. Pet owners are, they're enjoying their animals, and the animals are enjoying them. When you think about it, the animals have basically been living through this, at least the indoor ones. So one of the guys at work, actually one of the girls at work, one of the women at work, did that. She talked about her cat who's been living through quarantine for the last 2,000 days. And so she followed the cat on a day. What do the cats like to do? What are fun things to do while you're hanging out? It's pretty funny. Food, I don't know if you're still here, but if you are, I gotta tell you, one of my favorite dumpling restaurants is over in Bay Ridge. I think is it Jenny's or Kathy's? Man, it's good. I think once this quarantine thing ends, it'll be amongst the first things I do is stop by there to pick up some dumplings. I can't really imagine how this is going to end, though. What do you guys think? Like, just one day they're going to be like, yeah, we're cool again. And we're all just going to go rushing out into the street. Seems weird to me. How quickly that seems weird. You know? Only time will tell. Did you really? Then tell me what it's called. It's definitely not Vanessa dumplings. What's it called? I got another keyboard I can base this off. You guys probably won't be able to do this when you're doing it at home. The answer to it is use your keycaps. But I don't quite need to use my key. Ooh. I lost a keycap off of this one. It's probably back here somewhere. Yeah. I am very shortly going to do a clean your keyboard episode. No, this one's one of the originals. That didn't tell me either. Can't tell. Can't tell from that one. Can't tell from that one. What else have I got here? Oh, here, I got this. Yeah, I got this one. So it's to the left, to the left, to the left, to the right, to the right, to the right in the hole. Yeah, is that what's happening there? This one is definitely to the left here. To the left. Doesn't seem right. And the reason it doesn't seem right is that these two look like they're, yeah, that's right, because that's a quarter over. Yep. It's not even a quarter over, it's half a quarter. This one goes in on the left. And then we start again, but on the right. So this goes in on the right. This goes in on the right. There's actually 3 positions here, but I still think it's on the right. And then this one, there's only one spot for it. It's there. I think that's right. Let's just... that's it. All right, then. All right, well, dudes, I've just busted the hour mark, although that does include the 10 minutes of me setting it up. But I think I'm going to stop here, and tomorrow I'm going to come back and finish this off. I see the numbers are dipping. I see the time is getting late. My European friends are probably all gone to bed. But what I'll try to do is jump on with y'all tomorrow. Yeah, this all needs to be pushed in, and I can do a little bit of that now. Just while I answer any last burning questions anybody has. And then after that, I'll call it for the night. And we'll get after this again tomorrow when we're fresh. Looking deep into the board here to make sure that all of them are as far down as they can go. And then I'm just going to do the finger test. Make sure everything's seated just as well as it can be. Again, the reason I like the finger test so much is my eyes can play tricks on me, but my fingers can tell me pretty quickly if they're being scratched by two things or not. All right, here we go. Starting up top left. Well, thank you again, guys, for tuning in today. Like I say, I'll be back very soon. Hopefully I won't cut my finger open again, and we can get the party underway pretty quickly tomorrow. Cool. Well, thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to press like. Don't forget to press subscribe. And I'll see you guys back again. Yeah, seriously, let's do this tomorrow. I'd love to do it tomorrow. I'll just start up with the solder cam and basically get stuff underway. Thanks very much. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget to come hang out in the Discord. There's a link to it in the About section below. Do check that out, and we'll see you over there. Peace, guys.